A very good evening and konnichiwa to the Fuji International Speedway for the final round of Season 7 of the Galebest and Clark St James GT3 Championship, live and direct here on the JP Broadcasting Network. You join myself, Alex Goldschmidt, and James Parfitt here tonight as we are in the latter throes of the final qualifying session, final 15 minutes, which will set the grid for our final 45-minute encounter around a fantastic circuit. First opened back in December of 1965, reopened under the ownership of Toyota back in April 20 years ago, measures just over 4.5 kilometers, 16 turns, and one of the longest known start-finish straights in modern-day motorsport, measuring around about a kilometer and a half. So, without further ado, let's take you through the scores heading into the final round of this season. Michael Gray is one step away and he's 49 points. Well, he's quite a way ahead of Harry Hartley-Price, the defending champion. It could come down to the wire here tonight. Of course, we've got to remember that there are 8 scores, 1 drop score here for this particular season. Matt Hoyland rounding out the top 3 ahead of John McLuhan, Harry Gaylor rounding out the top 5. Sam Berry, Peter Duke, who's currently enjoying himself in España at the moment. So enjoy your cerveza, Mr. Duke from DC Motorsport. We'll miss you on the grid. Stephen Donnelly, Ben Altria, and Jared Love round out the top 10 ahead of Harry Seven, Andy White, Tim Reed, Wayne Douglas, Craig Corish, Connor Pink now on dad duties, and I know he's watching. So good evening to Connor, Sophie, and new baby son Axel that came into the world last week. So congratulations to you both. We've also got the likes of Joe Sparrow, Tim Cullimore, etc., etc. But also, it's going to be really tight at the top of the AM standings going into this final race, because we have heard news from James Moore from Upshift Esports. He actually informed us in the Discord earlier on that the power has gone down on his on the road where he actually lives, which could cause a bit of a problem, because Mike Walters from Son of a Bro Racing, who has 2 wins in the Acura, if he makes it 3, and with a drop score taken into consideration, Mike Walters could secure the title by 2 points. But that's when all the dust has settled. Daniel Paul rounds out the top 3, but more to the point, let's bring in Mr. Parfitt. Good evening, buddy. How are you?
I'm very well, dear sir. Looking forward to this one. I think it should be quite an interesting one here as well. And hopefully we won't have any dramas. Fuji, however, does have a finish straight longer than my high street. But then again, I have more sheep than humans. So, you know, what more can I ask for here as well? So it's also another Road America has also got a massive long straightaway on it as well. I'm looking forward to this. Final race of the season, 15 drivers on the racetrack as well, which is kind of expected towards the end of the season as well. But the main championship protagonists are here, of course. Apart from that individual, Mr. James Moore, who is not here. So, yeah, not good. But then again, looking at that, I also can't see Mike Walters either. So, at the moment, Daniel Paul will gain 40 points. He could potentially come out and be the winner of the AMs, depending on what the drop score situation is, because there's no Mr. Walters.
Daniel Paul, I can tell you now, would not win the title based on the fact that he did in every single race so far. So if he picks up a 40th place win, you've got to deduct his score from Imola. No, hang on. Daytona, where he got 16 points. So that would put him on so 186 plus 40. Bear with us. We're not good at maths with pen and paper.
226.
Yeah, 226. That'll put him on 210. So drop week makes this confusing. Jared Love, we agree wholeheartedly with you.
Dude, don't. Drop weeks drive me bonkers.
I mean, the thing is, I am going to work on whilst we're racing, I am going to put the main protagonists in for AM and Pro and work out the scores live as they happen, including the respective drop scores. So it's going to take a lot of work over 45 minutes, but let's have a look at how things are going at the moment, JP. Andy White in the Audi, leading in qualifying here. and that's a 140.250 for him. We've got 3 sectors, thank goodness, here at Fuji Speedway. The home of the Endurance Golden Week Classic for Super GT, which also will be heading to the circuit in real life the first weekend of August for the first sprint race, well, the only sprint race weekend of the season. Craig Corish in P2, John McLuhan rounding out the top 3, Wayne Douglas, Tim Reed rounding out the top 5 ahead of Ben Altria, Harry Hartley-Price, Sam Berry, Stephen Donnelly rounding out the 9 strong. We've got Michael Gray. Oh, is Michael going to do what he did last time? Not set a lap time, start from the rear and go, hello.
Yeah, I think he is, to be blatantly honest. I think he's just going there as well. I really do not like drop weeks. Like, they drive me absolutely bonkers because there's so many calculations involved with it, especially there's ones that go like, oh, we've got 3 drop weeks. Oh, wonderful. Cheers for that. I'll just calculate my spreadsheet. And that is it. It just gets absolutely nuts there as well. I think Pro is finished with 39 ahead, 40 for a win, I think. But Harry will still need his drop week deducted. I think he's raced every week. And that's if he wins. Exactly. Whatever happened to an 8-race league, no drop weeks, crack on and, you know, blink and enjoy yourself. It's bonkers. But look, hey, I'm going to have some fun. I'm sure we're all going to have some fun. As for maths, well, don't rely on us. That's all I got to say to that.
I'll just be on my best behaviour with that.
Oh, dude, I try and avoid maths as best I can.
Oh, mate, try dealing with 10 drivers in a competition that are, with the final race to go, they are still up for the title. And I've seen it where the person in 10th ended up being, as the chat. Yeah, Jared saying, let's just award me the overall season. We're not going to let you off that lightly, Mr. Love there, I'm afraid. Just award me the overall season and call it. What, based off your win last week?
Yeah.
No, I think not, is the case. But
I agree.
Into the final minute and 10 we go. And more to the case, there is a couple of Porsches, hopefully not doing Porsche things like we've seen all the way through this season here, JP. But Jean McLuhan going to do what he can in the 199 car. Oh, that's a nice new livery for the vehicle with the Avenzo Therapeutics signage on the car as well. So nice to see the liveries evolving over the course of this side of things. Also, our good friend Mr. Zoomies, our resident Dachshund lover, who was in action for the Only Hands GR86, second in the AM title last night. Joseph Lopez currently leading in the AM side of things on a 141.203 in the good old Dachshund livery, Zoomies McLaren 720S.
Yeah, just a bit of fun, isn't it? I think this is the thing. I do love that. It does look cool, though, doesn't it? Let's be real about it. You know what I mean?
It does.
You know, so yeah, but I think overall this is going to be a great end to the season, and it's been a good season in conjunction with it, and that's the thing. I think everybody's had a great time, had some fun, and looking forward to next season. So there we go. Hello, Connor.
Yeah. Yes, let's go, boys. He says. Just a little bit of information for you people out there in the world that want to get involved. There are going to be some summer races as we hit the checkered flag here in qualifying. The 21st of July, the 4th of August, and the 18th of August. This is basically like a recruitment drive for Season 8. I believe it'll be starting early September.
Yep.
What it will mean is there'll be single races of varying formats for recruitment and also a little bit of fun and banter. So 20 minutes practice, so that allows people to register and log in. 10 minutes closed qualifying, 90 minutes racing. That will be 60% maximum fuel allowance, open setups, 1 fast repair, penalty every 20x, no disqualification. But Andy White has put it on pole for the final race of the season by just over 0.2 of a second. And look, Jean McLuhan, Wayne Douglas, Craig Corish, Ben Altria, all those drivers were separated by less than 0.1 of a second. For Harry Hartley-Price, he's got a little bit of work to do as Harry, down in 7th.
Yeah, he has at the moment, but I think Fuji's one of them where you could probably afford to sit at the back. You know, if you pick the draft off bit by bit by bit, you'll have a great time. And I think that's the thing for some of these guys. They've got to, you know, be picking the draft off, seeing how they, you know, can handle it, and making places up like that, because it's very hard once you start getting into this infield of the circuit, you know, through Coca-Cola, down through 100R, in through 300R, and then, of course, we've got that Yankee chicane at the end of 10. It's a very difficult circuit to try and get to grips with on overtake. So it's going to be seeing who can pick people off, I think, one by one, maybe using the draft down the back straight, making most of the errors that can happen.
Exactly, and there is a lot of elevation change, a lot of camber change here at Suzuka, so it is going to sort out the weak chaff, if you want to put it that way. So could see a lot of drama here tonight. Ben Altria in the Acura, still running in 6th position, coming out of Panasonic at turn number 16. Panasonic was one of the title sponsors, people might remember, from their efforts in Formula One, the title sponsor of the crew that had the likes of Jarno Trulli, Timo Glock, and Alan McNish racing for them. But here's the grid for the final race of Season 7. It's Andy White and Tim Reed on the front row of the grid. John McLuhan and Wayne Douglas will be on row number 2. Craig Corish and Ben Altria on row 3, ahead of Harry Hartley-Price and Sam Berry. Stephen Donnelly and Joseph Lopez ran out the top 10. Christopher Haynes, good old Rexy, and Daniel Paul rounding out the top 12. So we've got 15 drivers in all. Sean Clark, Sergio Cabral, and Michael Gray. Strong grid. So I've just worked out on drop scores that even if Harry Hartley-Price gets a victory tonight, with the drop scores taken into consideration, Michael Gray, I think, has wrapped up the title. 2:11 plays 1:60. Harry's worst result was at Imola, and that was 12 points. So it is going to be the case of what is going to happen in the AM classification. And that's going to be rather interesting, I think, as you were talking about earlier on, JP.
Yeah, I think it's going to be very interesting indeed. I think the drop weeks are really going to kind of spice this situation up. And I think going forward, you know, do I like drop weeks? Absolutely not. I do not like drop weeks. They are a complete and utter pest and for us up here in the booth as well, especially if we haven't got live sheets running from somebody in the league who's sending us the live sheets and going, right, this is happening, because we're obviously trying to commentate and do maths at the same time. It gets very, very complicated for us up here. You know, I'm pressing buttons, Alex is talking and doing maths. Who said men can't multitask? I suggest they come and be a commentator.
Yeah, so effectively it is going to be the case. Who's in the Merc all of a sudden?
Wayne Douglas.
That is Wayne Douglas. So he made an appearance last time out at Brands Hatch, didn't he, if I remember correctly? So newcomer to the series, but also a driver that's known within DC Motorsport. So they brought him on board, and he definitely gave a good showing. Garden of England.
I love that car as well. Looks awesome.
Oh, it does in that livery.
Yeah,
oh, it does. Really, really does.
That tint of green just polishes it off. It looks awesome.
So we're going to go through now into turn 13 and 14 into 15 at Nets Corner. It's going to be Audi. Oh, it's the Might of Ingolstadt versus the Might of Munich on the front row. Audi versus BMW, Porsche and Mercedes. So you then got Weizsack and Falterbach on row number 2. So this is going to be a rather good run down out of the final corner. So the Ford Mustang pace car will peel away for the final time, as the lights will very shortly ignite up with all 5 red lights being shown on the top middle of your screens at home. So a little bit of weaving from a couple of drivers, Reed and Altria. And as you can see, this is going to be a long, long wait, but it's down to when Andy White and Tim Reed decide to bury the throttle to the floor. Wait.
Hold on.
It.
Ooh.
So pace car is in the pit lane. It's a long run to the pit lane entrance. So we're set under starters orders here at Fuji. The 8th and final round of Season 7 of the Galebest and Clark St. James GT3 Championship here in the land of the rising sun. And now Andy White puts the pedal to the metal. Tim Reed goes along with him. Wayne Douglas slingshots past Jean McLuhan as we are green here in Fuji. And it's the long run down into turn number 1. Craig Corish getting a little bit adventurous as they head into turn 1 for the first time. Down the dip into 2. Then it's going to be the fast left-hand kink coming up here at Coca-Cola. It's going to be through 100R at turns 4 and 5. Wayne Douglas trying to look towards the outside of Tim Reed going through into turn 4. That might be a possibility. Can he get the overlap through into 5, through 100R? Not quite. Jean McLuhan has got Craig Corish bearing all over his rear wing as they head into hairpin at turn 6. Andy White has already bolted. 6/10 is the advantage at the moment on the opening lap. Altria in that Acura is hounding Wayne Douglas in the DC Motorsports Mercedes 4P3 as we head to the far part of the circuit into Dunlop Corner here at turn 10. Then it's a quick right, left, right through into 12 and then through into the final part of the infield section. And then it's on to the long 1.5 kilometre straightaway here at Fuji. And more to the point, how big will Andy White's lead be? Because Tim Reed needs to be a lot closer than 0.8 of a second, but expect to at least go 3 wide. As they come out of Panasonic, Andy White is going to bring us across the line to complete the opening lap as we run on board with Ben Altria in the 504 Full Tilt Motorsport Acura on Toyota's home soil.
Yeah, Altria there sitting in 4th place trying to chase down Douglas, of course. Douglas with Reed and Andy White. No real dramas for anybody. Michael Gray moving his way. He's just getting up to the head of the AMS at the moment. That is Joseph Lopez as he's coming down into turn 1 now. Michael Gray is going to go up the inside. Jobs are good and job done for him. Now chasing down Stephen Donnelly in that Mustang. Everybody got away cleanly. No real massive gainers. Michael Gray's probably the highest, up 5. Hartley Price up 2. Altria up 2. And Wayne Douglas out 1. That means the people that have gone down, though, Jean McLuhan, Craig Corish, and everybody south of Michael Gray. So they've got to be a little bit more mindful. We've still got plenty more time to go here as well. But I've got to be honest, Wayne Douglas in that Mercedes, and I will actually like to point out as well, in one of the very few officials I did in a Mustang, in the Mercedes, I should say, sorry, I actually was at Fuji, and I actually won the race as well. So go Wayne Douglas, cheering on a Merc today.
I like that. I like that sentiment there, James. It just goes to show how quickly things can change when you get behind the wheel of a certain car. Now, was this before or after the tyre model update?
It was before, but we won't talk about it.
No, that's fine. I just wanted to ask so at least there's relevant context. Douglas, however, trying to go around the outside here at turn number 15 and 16. He's got Altria trying to sneak up the inside. And up over the sausage curbs. Oh, that's the bungee jump there for the Mercedes.
Wow!
Oh, dearie me. Wayne Douglas just had a big old code brown. Couldn't see past the end of the front bumper because what could he not see? The ground underneath him.
Oh my God! I'm going back to that when I find it. I got to be honest. That was absolutely bonkers. Where is he? There he is. I've had to go quite far back, so bear with us just 2 seconds here.
So this is coming up, turn 10 into 11 and 12, and then it's when they come through out of Nets corner. So let's get, brilliant, perfect. There's the onboard. So he's chasing down Tim Reed in third position, in second position, and you can see there's a little bit of a wobble. He goes to the outside. Now he's going to try and go around the outside here at Panasonic. Tries to get the overcut. Then Altria dives up the inside of him. Bang! Bang! There's the second impact. Oh my goodness me!
Literally looking at the sky. Come on, though, you got to admit that was absolutely amazing. I'm not going to lie. There from Wayne Douglas, and the car's still going in the right direction without any dramas. That's what makes it even worse. The car's still working.
I know that onboard just was picture perfect of how quickly things can turn around, and we run on board with him at the moment. A little bit of oversteer to deal with there through into turn number 13, but we are on lap 3 out of this race. Lap times round about the 141, give or take on average. So it just goes to show how quickly things can change. He's got to, He's kept away from those sausage curves, but he's got Michael Gray, the Corvette, breathing down his neck. So at the moment, Harry Hartley-Price, I think, is more than likely going to sew up second in the championship, because even with the drop score, Michael Gray has, I think, pretty much wrapped it up, because he was on 2:11 coming into this round. Harry Hartley-Price had 172 points to his credit, but then you take off round 2 for his drop score, it's going to make it a 51-point gap. So Gray has pretty much sewed it up with 1 round to spare, because he had that DNF at the bar, which was a no score, and then you take that as a drop. So it's all about what Michael Gray, you know, for the last couple of rounds since the bar, and he got off at Lecombe on the opening lap. Here we have a battle for P3 in the AMS. Sean Clark round the outside of Chris Haynes in good old Rexy. There's Daniel Bull and Sean Clark. He has really, really improved. He's got a lot more aggressive. Went a bit deep into the corner, so Chris Haynes has come straight back at him. Sean's got the inside line. Got a right-hander coming up very shortly. So Chris Haynes might have the opportunity to keep Rexy around the outside. And there goes Stephen Donnelly for good measure, trying to get through on the McLaren, and the Mustang makes it work.
Yeah, Sean tried to go for 1 move forward and ended up 2 back there. Unfortunately for him, he's going to have to go at him again, and that all started getting out of line a little bit earlier on the lap, and then unfortunately just couldn't get that car back into the racing line again, and the guys behind him just swallowed him up. Now, the interesting thing we've got going on at this moment in time is this Jean McLuhan, Craig Corish, Hartley-Price situation. Sam Berry behind in the Mustang. Now, obviously, we know the Mustang's got some gruff on him, and at the same time, he's going to be wanting to try and get through. The problem is the Mustang turns like a boat, as Jared Love has told us in YouTube chat, and it doesn't necessarily work here. It might be okay through this circuit at certain points, like going through turn 3, 4, 5, 6, possibly the run down to 10. Where is it going to struggle? Well, possibly at the Dunlop corner with the hairpin turn 1 as well. You know, there's a lot to going on with that Mustang, and there's a lot of things that it can do right, and there's a lot of things that it will go wrong. So we'll see how he gets on for Sam Berry at the moment, chasing down Craig Courage. And Twisted, evening, lads. Good evening. Oh, where's Alex gone? Have we lost him?
No, don't worry. I did hit my mic, and for some, because I've got a mute button on my headset. I've done a Lewis McGlade or Arjuna Kankapati like they did in the VCO ERL a couple of years back. But Michael Gray currently is 9th at the moment, behind Wayne Douglas. So that gives him 22 points, puts him on 233. Harry Hartley-Price currently running 4th. That's 27 points, puts him on 187. So, yeah, it looks like Harry's just going to have to serve himself. You know, he's put up as best a defence of his pro title from season 6 he can. Now, looking back a little bit further, James Moore will score nul point, as they say in Eurovision. So that'll put him on 215. Mike Walters, 177. Daniel Paul, at the moment, will be on 204 points because he's currently 2nd. Behind Joseph Lopez.
He's going to go. Oh, no, he's not. Oh, he has gone, but he disappeared on me. That was great Corish there. Tries to hold the outside, sorry, on that one. Sam Berry does get through, use the power of that Mustang there as well. Joseph Lopez leading the AMS at the same time with Stephen Donnelly down there as well. He's battling away with Dan Paul. There's been no dramas to talk of, but Donnelly is down 3 places, so I think he just had one of them times where he got overtaken and then he got overtaken again, and I think this may have kicked off some of Stephen Donnelly's problem as he's kind of trying to go side by side here with Michael Gray.
Oh, this could be very, very gnarly as Gray goes to the outside of the Mustang. That's in at turn 10. Gray's going to get the inside line, cheekily sneak up the inside using the apex very nicely. Through 12, trying to keep it around the outside. They've got Joseph Lopez, Mr. Zoomies right behind them. So they go into 13.
Oh, there you go. That's where he lost places.
Yeah, like literally turned in, I think oversteered a little bit on the steering input, and yeah, just flew the back end out to the left-hand side, and then all of a sudden catching a bit of a passenger after that.
Yeah, absolutely. P1 in the AMS Championship at the moment. Well, Daniel Paul, but we think Moore will still win, don't we?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, Sean Clark at the moment, Well, this could be interesting. Sean Clark, I think, could be on the cusp of getting top 3 in the championship for the AM side of things. Because one of the things that we do mention, folks. Oh, hang on a second. No. Get this. Sean Clark. Right. Here's a little bit of a twist in the tail, so to speak. Sean Clark at the moment has 179 points.
100 and what, sorry?
179 points. He had a 0 at Monza at round 3. Now, Sean Clark is currently P4 in the P4, which is 27 points. So that puts him... I'm now going to work this out using the calculator on my phone. Let's just say that I don't think Mr. Moore... I think that's probably the reason why he's running a little bit... He's feeling a little bit uneasy. Sean Clark at the moment, with 4th place... Get this, 206 points.
Okay.
So Sean Clark is out of him, Paul, and Waters. Him, Paul, Waters, and Moore on track. I think has a chance of winning this championship, but he's got to get past a couple of other drivers. So if he gets up to, he's basically got to win. I think he's got to win this. So if he gets the full 40 points, it's 219. Now that's going to be a bit of a tall order at the moment. Currently running 4th behind Chris Haynes. He's got to get past Haynes and Paul and then go after Lopez. So that is going to be a tall order. But at the moment, he is currently running based on drop scores. Connor's saying if Sean re-wins, it's rigged. Just kidding. Come on, Sean. There is a chance. There is a chance that Sean Clark could win the AMS. Now, that would be one for the books, considering, he had a very character-building season in Season 6. Season 7, like we saw earlier on in the race, he was getting his elbows out well and truly.
Yeah, I like the point out the fact we are desperately trying to keep you up to date with the scores here, guys, right? But we will say, and we are going to tell you as well, these are literal provisionals, all right? If Sean does get through and he takes the 40 points, and we think Alex is working out is correct, and I don't, as I said, never trust a commentator with maths, especially when we're trying to do multiple things. But I think at the moment we have to make people aware we will be provisional. We wait for an official announcement from, obviously, oh, he's gone up again!
Sam Berry. Oh, Michael Grace hit him! Oh, what on earth happened here? Oh, he's got... Right, okay. Is this going to be...
Sausage curb.
Running over the sausage curb. Oh, dear. Oh!
Oh!
His classic blow from Michael on that point. Oh, dearie me. So...
Oh, no! See? We shouldn't have said anything.
Look, it's not a commentator's curse, it's a fate of circumstance.
No,
I was just talking
see?
about it, and he lost it on his own.
Oh.
He's lost it on his own.
No.
Don't blame me. Don't blame the messenger.
Yeah, but the messages should have been at the bottle.
Hey.
Oh, well, Sean.
Stop making reference to the police back in the day, hey?
Hey, what more can you ask for? I love that song as well. Great song.
It's a classic. It's an absolute classic. But we are nearly a third of the way through this race. And look at the freight train behind Harry Hartley-Price, who now is up into 3rd position. Puts him now on 190 points at the moment as things stand. We will, normally, we do see that the results sometimes get populated quite quickly afterwards. But at the moment, that's still with now Michael Gray at the moment currently running P7, so that is 229 points. So 39 points is the advantage. But obviously you have to, I think you have to hit, is it 75% of the race distance?
You know what, Alex? All I can hear is steam coming out your ear holes trying to work this out. I can
No,
hear it as well.
I'm just wondering. That's all.
He's doing maths as best as he possibly can here for Mr. Goldschmidt, trying to keep you all up to date. And I just feel he's got like the cartoon where there's just steam going.
It's like the kettle that's trying to blow up in the kitchen. But here goes Michael Gray. He's the double toe here. He's got the side draft from Craig Corish. He's going to dive up the inside. That's 2 for the price of 1 here for Michael Gray if he can make the move complete. They've got turns 2 and 3. It's a left-hander coming up, so Michael Gray now moves up into 6th position.
Oh, he's not. Is he going to? BMW's going to hold him out there. He could have opened him up a little bit more. You've given him the inside, though, unfortunately now. And Gray should have that inside line, but if the BMW can stay there, he'll have the inside for the hairpin. He can't. Gray cuts his nose off. And unfortunately for that BMW, no can do, sorry, dear sir.
Yes, indeed. But Gray went a little bit wide. Hairpin into turn number 7. So Reed is right over his rear wing like a rash at the minute. Heading into turn 10 at Dunlop. Gray to the inside. Reed goes to the outside, cuts the curbing very nicely there on the apex. They've got to worry about that sausage curb coming out of turn 12 and into 13. But Sam Berry, well, Mr. Fresh Rubber's association with the tarmac hasn't been that great tonight. So he's ended up all the way down into 14th as Mr. Clark has now exited out of pit lane after quite a lengthy spell in the pits, I think. Well, 11.9 seconds.
I think that was his pit stop. I think he used a fails repair in the process.
Yeah, I think you're probably right there. So that is going to mean that if he's trying for the great undercut and it worked, oh dear. That's all I'm going to say. But still 28 minutes to go. Sam Berry and Sean Clark have both got a mark against their pit stops at the moment. So I don't know if Sam Berry also decided to make that his mandatory stop as well with the fast repair, because that would have done a lot of damage to the underside. But I have to say, Wayne Douglas, despite his code brown over the sausage curbs coming out of turn 16 at Panasonic, he still has kept it going. He's currently running P8, but the battle between 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th, that's Hartley, Price, McLuhan, Gray, Reed and Corish. They are covered by about 2 seconds.
They are at the moment, as these guys continue to battle on. Tim Reed in there, Michael Gray further up, and Jean McLuhan. Hartley Price is that cork and has been the cork in the bottle for quite a while here. So they're going to have to try and see what Hartley Price can do. I don't know if he's going to be able to get away. I don't know if that Porsche's got the gruff to stay in front of the Corvette, but we're going to find out, because Jean McLuhan is going to be under attack by Michael Gray here, and Gray's going to have to try and do something amazing. It does give you a different line through that last corner. You can see the 2 different lines there as well. But Gray's going to tuck in right behind him now on a run down that start-finish straight. And there is the Porsche. There is Michael Gray. And, well, he's doing north of 140 mile an hour.
Yeah, I think here at Fuji with the Super GT Championship, the GT300 normally is one-make series models or GT3 machinery. 163 miles an hour in closing. He pulls to the right-hand side, dives.
He's not stopping it. He's not stopping it.
Oh my God, he's gone straight on. That was that. All I'm going to say is he hit the brakes late, but I think it was way too late because he went straight on. Let's have a look.
He was adjusting something. He nearly runs onto the grass, and then he realises, and then by that point, he's way later than he should have been. Yeah. I am pretty sure he was adjusting something in that car, because watch him go over to the left all of a sudden and then flick it right. So just there, oh, no, there you go. And he just missed it. He must have been playing with something on his black box or doing something in that car. I've done that before, to be fair, Alex, as well. But then again, I'm no, Lando Norris. So, yeah, he must have been adjusting something or looked at something or thought about going shopping or what he was going to have for dinner. But whatever he did, he didn't quite work it out because he was unfortunately going to go off the side of the circuit.
It's probably what meal deal he could get at Tesco's Express for as cheap as possible. You never know, do you?
I found a wicked one the other day. £3.75 for a sandwich, crisps and a drink. I was well impressed.
I thought they were normally like £4. Well, they were like £3. They were, what was it, £2.99. Then it went up to £3.50 and then £4.
Yeah, it was £3.75 in a BP garage near me for a meal deal. Sandwich, pack of crisps and a drink. So, yeah, made up for that. That was my nice little snack on my 5-hour journey back from Santa Pod.
Oh, dear.
Oh, well, can't help it, mate. F1 coming out of Silverstone.
No. I meant, oh, dear, for the 5-hour journey.
Yeah, but I did stop a couple of times. I had a
Never-
teenager that apparently needed a pee in every service station we went past. You know.
Oh, dear. So, like, are we there yet? Do you get that sometimes as well?
Yeah, he goes, how long we got? And I'll go by the sat-nav and he'll go, now tell me the truth because we're towing the caravan. So we had the longest 2.5-hour run getting up there on Thursday because the sat-nav said 2.5 hours. And then we'd been travelling for an hour, and it still said you had 2 hours and 15 minutes to go. So it's a tough job towing a caravan as well, and the sat-nav not adjusting for the speed or the weight of my car that period of time. So that 2.5 hours seemed to turn in for absolutely ever. But yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, so coming towards the halfway point of this race, and well, after that, going straight on whilst exiting stage right, going through the first corner at breakneck speed. Michael Gray finds himself back down in 8th, but still at the moment, Michael's saying, I was at a caravan park on the weekend and a sausage and egg and a bun was £2. It was a mad bargain.
Oh, I agree.
Where was that?
Yeah, dude, tell me, because I'll tell you what, when I was at Santa Pod, I went to get a chicken wrap and it was £10 something. So, you know.
I know.
Absolutely bonkers. You know what I mean? So anytime you find a bargain for a couple of quid, have it. Have loads of it.
Or if there's a nearby little or Aldi, quid's in. Michael Gray now pulls into pit lane with Corvette. Yeah, you always go to a little or an Aldi, and I can guarantee you, I mean, what was it? North Owls Holiday Park, we're short on racetracks. Well put there, Michael W in the chat. But in the meantime, Craig Corish closing in on Tim Reed. Wayne Douglas still trundling on in the DC Motorsport Mercedes. Andy White has pretty much been leading every one of the 13 laps we've already completed. We're on lap number 14. So probably looking at the best part of, I would say, including a pit stop, maybe 26 to 28 laps total, depending on the pit stop times. Daniel Paul's had a bit of a moment, and he's just gone off track. Michael Gray has just started to make his way out of pit lane. Dropped down behind Upshift Esports Soul Trooper at the moment. Portugal, Mr. Sergio Cabral. Good to have Sergio back on track with us here at Fuji, but still the battles are waging on. And I think in some respects here, JP, you know, a lot of people say, yeah, well, Fuji, it's a bit of a slipstream fest. Yeah, we know it's a 1.5 kilometre long start-finish straight. But when you get into the twisty stuff, you see that some cars really shine a lot better than others.
Yeah, and the thing is with this inner circuit here, right, this in section, there's different lines. So you can see here the BMW will run quite out wide and the Porsche will go with it. But then when you can, other cars will take shallower lines into that corner. So let's see if Daniel Paul is going to prove me wrong here or if he's going to do the same as everybody else. But there's multiple different lines around this circuit, and that's what makes it interesting for me. It's not just one line. You know, you can go take this quite shallow. So you see he shallowed it off there where Chris Haynes behind him went quite wide. So there's multiple different lines around the circuit, which makes it interesting for a lot of the running here. But I think these guys have just got to be aware that when you are running, you've got to be careful. And that's the problem. There's so many corners on here that you can associate with corners at other circuits. Turn 1 at Kota, that's got 4 lines depending on where you want to go here. Turn 1 here is the same. You can almost go down as well at certain other points of the circuit for that run down the 100R, and you can basically run that in different lines. So albeit there's different lines on the circuit, they have just got to be aware of how they're going to take them and make sure that nobody's up that inside. And that last corner is a prime example of that as well.
Yeah, very true. As Ben Altria closing in on Andy White as we are now heading towards 20 minutes out of the 45 left to go at the moment. Well, everyone as far down as Michael Gray have yet to serve their mandatory pit stop. So it's a case of when will these drivers manage to get their cars down into pit lane and put enough fuel in to get them to the end of the race. Of course, a 45-minute race here at Fuji. Not really going to need tyres as such, but Ben Altria in that Acura is really honing in on the rear end of that Audi of Andy White. This could be the opportunity for the man from Full Tilt Motorsport in the 504 Acura. Will he dive to the inside? No. Holds station, stays behind White, going down the dip here in P1.
Yeah, stayed there for a minute. I don't know how much longer he's going to stay there for. Jean McLuhan closing on the back of Harry Hartley-Price. Craig Corish and Tim Reed were side by side for a brief moment there. And they stayed as they are. Chris Haynes has passed Stephen Donnelly. Daniel Poole passed Stephen Donnelly as well. But that is due to the fact that Donnelly has gone into the pit. Sean Clark, albeit we were bigging him up earlier on, is now down in the final place of the racetrack. So unfortunately for Sean, he's down in last. That BMW didn't look like he took a different line through there. That Porsche carried some speed on his way through 100R into the airpit, and they go now. But this is the thing, they've only got 18 minutes to go now, Alex. They've got to play it by ear, see who's going to be where.
Yep, and they've also got to decide to dive into the pit lane at the last moment. Joseph Lopez was leading the race, now has effected his mandatory stop. He's coming out of pit lane at the moment, 14.1 seconds on his marks in the pit box. It is all a case of what will happen at the sharp end. Grizz. Daniel Poole has got a 15-second lead over Sergio Cabral. They've yet to go through the pit stop cycle, so that'll hopefully change things as Sergio Cabral has lost out to Michael Gray, who's now got up into 9th overall. That puts him 8th in the class, but still will give him more than enough points to secure the Season 7 Pro title as Craig Corish dives to the right-hand side behind Tim Reed. Looks like is he going to dive into pit lane? Yes, he will. Looks like Wayne Douglas is as well. Motorsport Mercedes follows the Porsche in. So that is 6th and 7th overall. And also in the Pro class, now diving into pit lane. Harry Hartley-Price still fending off the advances. Fellow Porsche driver Jean McLuhan. Tim Reed is about 1.3 seconds behind this battle, but Andy White has started to open up the gap again on Ben Altria, who has got the fastest lap of the race from Andy White by half of 100th of a second. 0.005 seconds between the two drivers for the fastest lap of the race, and both of them are mid-engined rear-wheel drive.
Yeah, it's a great job by them guys as well. Joseph Lopez crashed. Now, did you crash, or were you coming in pit? No, you were not. Oh, no, you weren't coming in pit lane.
Oh dear. Right, let's have a look. This is going to be through.
Oh, look at that.
That was too much steering, I think.
Yeah, that is just one of their most horrible, awkward spins. Apparently, Wayne Douglas has had issues coming out of pit lane here. I wonder if that's coming
he's
down.
ahead of Craig. Yeah.
Oh,
he's ahead of Craig.
Where's he going?
Definitely a bit too late on the brakes there. Managed to jump Craig Corish and gave him the position that he was straight back to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, not exactly the best way to come out of the pit lane and into T1 here at Fuji. We are waiting for a few of the drivers. Andy White and Ben Altria have gone on for another lap. Martin Price is going to carry on. John McLuhan is going to carry on. Now, what will Tim Reed do? He's also staying out for another lap. So next up, well, Daniel Poole is the next highest placed driver to not yet do his pit stop, but Sergio Cabral rounds out the top two. Joseph Lopez, the top three in AM, 10th and 12th respectively on the circuit, but 15 minutes and 50 to go till the check-in here, JP. This battle between Harry Hartley-Price and Jean McLuhan been rather riveting, so to speak.
You know, it's not. The weirdest thing is, as well, is they've not really gone anywhere. You know what I mean? They've just stayed as they are. It's very much follow me leader. You know, we're Velcro together. We can't let each other go away here. But unfortunately, this is kind of quite interesting to see who's going to blink first on the pit stops. Because why they're doing this Michael Gray has done something that he knows he's done on purpose and has taken the early stop. He pitted 5 laps ago on lap 13. He's taken that early stop. So why these guys are still messing around with each other and playing peekaboo, he's just driving around in a clean clean track and just getting on his bike. So at the moment, these guys are not putting themselves in a great position knowing that Michael Gray is already pitted there. Too many zoomies, says Michael W. I do agree. I think he's had, yeah, too much zoomies there.
Too many zoomies on the loud pedal.
Yeah. Should have lifted a little bit there, son.
Yeah, what have my dogs got in the way? What do you mean? I couldn't hit the throttle, I had to hit the brake. Oh, really?
Mate, you're laughing, I've had that.
I know, I was just going to say, it has happened. I've also had it where I've been on commentary and little Toby, our toy poodle here at the house, has started barking away and started whining in the corridor by the outside of the office. And I'm like, having to put my boom mic up or put the mute on and go, Toby, will you shut up? You know, like, and he's yapping away and I'm full flow. And meantime, some people can hear it.
Yeah, I've had a driver go down. He was driving down at Hockenheim. He went down coming down into Spitzkare in the I think it was the W12 at the time. Literally went and torpedoed about 6 people in front of him, took him out, bits of carbon going everywhere. He put a message in chat. His dog jumped on his lap, and he literally could not see anything. He said the big old dog jumped on his lap and literally jumped on, pulled it, and everything went Pete Tong, and he just went and wiped out the whole of the 6 people in front of him. It was quite an interesting one, I've got to be honest.
So in other words, Yeatsville.
Oh, mate, he scored a strike whether he liked it or not. Do you know what I mean? It was like, strike!
It's like, yeah, let's go to the local bowling alley. Hello, everybody. Bang.
The dog just jumped on him. Next thing you know, it was like, strike 1. And he just took them all out. So there we go. But 30 minutes to go here. Andy White, Ben Altria. This should lead to Hartley Price, McLuhan, and the BMW of Tim Reed all going in pit lane here as well. They're going in as fast as they possibly can. Where is this man? Well, he's already on his way round into turn, well, it's 13 now, isn't it? But a chicane, yeah, so 13.
Yeah, so all he's got to do is crank the volume on that Corvette to volume number 11, in the words of Spinal Tap, and see if he can really put the hammer down and start closing in. As you rightly said, Hartley Price, McLuhan and Reed were, as you said, playing peekaboo in the forest. And now it's a case of who's going to be coming out on top on this one. And you can see that it's rapidly closing. Andy White, now where he's just coming out of pit exit. So where is this going to put Michael Gray? McLuhan is second. Hartley Price third. Gray now up to second, and look, he's done the 3 of them. Rightly called it there, JP. He did the 3 of them on that one, and now for 12 minutes, can Michael Gray close in a 6.8 second gap to Andy White? Well, what we've seen before from Michael Gray is it's not short of a bit of pace.
Dude, they were fluffing over each other. This is the problem. They weren't working together. Although Hartley Price is now behind McLuhan and that jumped coming out of pit lane. But they were all just fluffing around with each other. And as soon as they saw that we're doing that, Gray made the right choice. He just went in, said, thank you very much, adios, see you later, I'll have all 3 of you. And he did, he got them all. McLuhan, Hartley Price and Reed all done and dusted. So he's now on his bike trying to catch up with Andy White. We'll keep an eye on the times, of course. We have 11 minutes to go. Come on, Reed, put the foot down, says Josh in YouTube chat. Maybe not quite in that accent, but I felt it was needed.
Very, very true indeed. Running on board now with Craig Corish, closing in on Tim Reed. This is the battle for 5th and 6th, but it's really become the battle for P3 because you've got Jean McLuhan up the road. Michael Gray is closing that gap down. It was 6.8, it's now 6.1. So across the line goes Andy White. And Michael Gray is going to come across the line now, and his lap time 1 minute 40.044. Of course, there's going to be a differential of about 40 seconds based on the fact of Andy White's pit stop time. Craig Corish.
Go on, you got the door wide open. Gee, bro, Craig, was you waiting for a letter from the king or something? Blimey.
He was waiting for a telegram. That's
Oh,
wait.
mate, literally, the door was wide open. The BMW Reed gave him so much room. It was like an invite to come in and steal his telly, and he still didn't take the position away. He should have just gone nose deep, got it stopped in there, and had the door open. It was I don't know what he was waiting for. The green light, I suppose, as he stopped at a red one. Come on, Craig, blimey, you ain't going to get many more opportunities like that at Fuji, dude. You've got to take them when they present themselves like that. That was crazy. That was an opportunity missed for Craig Corish.
Oh, I completely agree. I completely agree there, James. I mean, it's like slowing down for a traffic light when you can see it's amber, because it's gone quickly for green, now it's gone amber. You've got literally a second to get through there before it goes red, and he hesitated. That was the problem. So could have been up to P5 at that point, but no, unfortunately not. Meantime, looking at the sector times for this tour itself, well, Michael Gray has taken
all of them
over 3/10 out of Andy White's in the opening sector, 5.5 tenths in sector 2. White's come across the line to start lap 22 of this race, and here comes Michael Gray. 141.016 for White, 140.
half a second,
3/10 down. So yeah, this is going to be a tall order, I think. I think Michael's going to have to settle for. Well, he's going to settle for second anyway, because he knows probably in his heart of hearts, he goes, well, even with the drop score, I think I'll probably take the title anyway. Well, you pretty much have.
Oh, he definitely has, and I don't debate that. Let's see where the sector times are coming from, though. That's the problem. Where is the time? Gray's lost. Gray was faster in sector 1 that time by 0.078. So it's not exactly like he's pulling out temps here, temps there. You know, it's not rapid, but it is still improvements. We'll see how they go on for sector 2, which is coming up basically just after the chicane, I believe, as well here. So we'll pick up on sector 2. This makes me laugh. We've got 3 sectors at a circuit this long, and then we go to Brands Hatch and we've got 7. Think of that one. 0.76. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, he's just put in a personal best in the middle sector by 0.34 of a second. So it's another 3/10. So that, yeah, he's gathered about 4/10. Bearing in mind it was minimal betterment by Gray in the opening sector. Careful of those sausage curves, Michael. We've seen what it's already done to Wayne Douglas earlier on tonight.
Which, mind you, was the most spectacular thing I've seen for ages.
Oh my goodness me! And then we had Sam Berry's yeet the front in the air and spin the back around whilst you're at it. And new fastest lap of the race, 1:39.932 by Michael Gray. Gap now down to 5.1 seconds. With 7 minutes on the time remaining, so I would say that's going to be another 4 laps, including this one, until we hit the checkered. So that's going to be 27 laps by the checkered flag.
Yeah, it will be. We'll see how he gets on there as well. Half a second a lap. I don't know he's going to have enough time, to be honest with you. I don't think he's pulling out quick enough. You can see the guys in behind this one as well. There is Corey still stuck behind Reed. Reed still stuck behind Hartley Price. And there was just nowhere for either of these guys to go. He had to take that opportunity for Corish on lap 21, I believe he was on. Didn't take it. Door wide open. Left it there as well, unfortunately for Craig. And at the same time, the BMW of Tim Reed now trying to get hold of Harry Hartley Price, last season's champion, but is not going to retain that title this season, and that's due to the fact that we've had a massive influx of wonderful drivers that unfortunately Hartley Price has just not been able to compete at the front this season. And you know, it is what it is. I think that's the way the cookie crumbles. He's sitting in second, and that's purely, I think, as well, the fact, if I'm not mistaken, Matty Oyland's missed 2 races. Harry Gaylor has missed 4 races with this one as well. Jean McLuhan's missed 1. So I think the likes of Hoyland, Gaylor, well, Duke obviously is not here either. So I think, Hartley Price, if he scrapes away with that second place in this championship, I think he's had a good season.
Yeah, well, get this, folks. News flash. Gap was 5 seconds. It's now 3. because Andy White had an absolute mare in the second sector. He lost 2 seconds to Michael Gray. He headed to the final 5 minutes. This trio here, Lyde astern. So Hartley, Price, Reed and Corish coming out of turn 1 and into 2, and then into 3. The left-hander here at 3 at Coca-Cola Corner. And seen some moves in real life done around the outside of that, but they've had to rub a little bit of carbon fibre and some paint swapping at the same time. But more to the point, it's still Peekaboo ICU, or Marco Polo is the other one I was thinking of.
Yeah.
What you said about playing Peekaboo, it'd be like, or Marco Polo, you know, that kind of stuff, when people are trying to stick their nose up the inside and maybe get through. But as you said, they're still fluffing around at the minute.
Yeah, there's no real aggression-esque coming from either of these guys. You know, they've been kind of very followy all the way through. They're probably getting sick of staring at each other's rear wings. I think they've been at this for nearly 45 minutes almost. So I think they need to do something. I don't know if Reed needs to go and cause some melodrama, but at the moment he's just caused himself drama. That's going to bring in Craig Corish again here. Of course, can get that run out this final lap, out this final corner, I should say. Once more, he should, Alex, be aiming for a good old go down into turn 1, and I believe he's already having a go.
Yeah, it's always the way, because Tim Reed right up the rear wing and diffuser of the 992 GT3R of Craig Corish. Reed on the inside, heading into turn 1, dives through on the Porsche. That is Reed back up into 5th position. Corish quickly trying to fight back at him through turn 1 into 2, and he's bump drafting through 3 at the moment. Reed goes to cover him off by switching to the left-hand side, off of the racing line ever so slightly. The BMW has more speed through turn 3 than the Porsche behind it.
Yeah, it definitely does that. But then again, I don't know why I was surprised for that. The Porsche's renowned for not being typically fast, should we say, in a straight line. Once you get the whistle of 6, you know that's about as much as you're going to go here. And unfortunately, Zoomies have done more zooming in exactly the same corner. It's going to be a deja vu moment.
Well, this is going to be at turn 11.
Go. Sean Clark was off track for ages.
Oh dear, what's Sean done now? So this is going to be... Oh,
only hit the wall. Ouch.
That McLaren has had a bit of plastic surgery on it, but 2 laps remaining as Andy White, who's led every single lap so far, crosses the line, and that is going to be about another 9.1 kilometers worth of racing left to go. 2.5 second advantage over Michael Gray, who started, let's not forget, towards the back end of the field, actually stone dead last.
Stone dead last, yeah.
Yeah, so he's tried to do the top gear from the rear in 2 rounds in rapid succession. I think maybe just for a little bit of fun, a little bit of banter, but also to give himself a little bit of a challenge. So here we have, well, this is Tim Reed. Now, what's Tim done? Sausage curb.
Whoa! Bro!
Yeatsville, Code Brown, all in rapid succession.
Oh my God! That was like all 4 wheels on.
That was nearly a Mark Webber Le Mans 1999. Like literally.
Look at that! Bomb!
Bang.
Bang, comes back down. Yeats, there's nothing even there. What did he hit? There's literally nothing there.
Maybe our friend Mr. Netcode came into play on that part. Who knows?
I don't know. You know, I think there's something there. I'm trying to give it as well. But have a look on this. He hits the first sausage, goes up in the air. Then what does he hit on the second bit? So there's the first jump. Then what does he hit? It's like he body hops the BMW. Look at that. Sky's the limit. So there we go. Andy White coming over and taking the white flag.
Yeah, like he had a bungee cord attached to the front splitter. Yeah, but like you say, white flag in the air. Here we go. 1 more lap to go. And it looks like we are going to have a definitive answer on the provisional championship standings. And despite the best efforts of Daniel Paul, who is going to pick up the full 40 points, it'll put him on 210, which despite the fact of his power going out, Upshift Esports, James Moore, by my provisional calculations, will win the AM class title by 5 points. Wayne Douglas has lost out to, well, Wayne Douglas has come into pit lane. So whether that was maybe
fuel, I think it could have been related to something, but I don't know what. I've just got him as entered pit lane here.
That's probably the Trundle drive-through of shame down the long pit lane. But the timer hits 0. Andy White has done a stellar job. He ran in the Mustang last season in Season 6. And for him, this is going to be a nice way to round out this championship campaign. When you think about it, Andy White, he has not finished in the top 3 at all this season. I think maybe not even. No wins, no podiums, but he's going to come through Zen. Next corner at turn 15, turn 16 here at Panasonic. And with the timer having hit 0, 27 laps at the Fuji International Speedway will now be completed. And it might not be a run to the line, but it is going to be Andy White that's going to cross the line and take the victory. And in second, picking up the pro title, it will be Full Tilt Motorsports' Michael Gray, taking second position, and that'll put him on a total of 245 points. Jean McLuhan, I think, will wrap up more than likely. Might have just wrapped up third of the championship standings, and despite the best efforts of this man here, Flatline Racing's Daniel Paul, came into this with a drop score of 16 points, down to 170. He's going to come out of the final corner here at Fuji. He will not take the AM title. He will be 5 points short, with James Moore not taking part in tonight's race. But nevertheless, Daniel Paul doing himself all the credit ahead of Season 8. He takes the final win in the AM class. And look at this. It's a run to the line for second position. For 11th position, Joseph Lopez takes P2 as, Tim Reed's lost his rear bumper in a bit of afters. Stephen Donnelly gets pipped by Joseph Lopez, and Sergio Cabral is going to be the last driver across the line. But by my reckoning, for your Galebest and Clark St. James GT3 Season 7 Championship, your provisional champions are Michael Gray and James Moore. But a great race to round off the season here, JP.
Yeah, absolutely as well. I've just literally nearly spot my coffee out at Josh's blinking comment in YouTube chat. A big shout out to Michael as well. Has donated £2 to the channel. Thanks for the commentary over the races. Much love to you, Michael. Thank you very much for that one. Dude, that was funny. I literally had a mouthful of coffee. I was like, you got to admit, that's funny. I know, I'm sorry, but it was.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, but anyway, we're professionals. Don't do things like that, Josh. Behave yourself.
Yeah. Otherwise, you're going to get detention and get the dunce out on your head.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Okay, moving on. It is final set of results here. Andy White takes the win, leading all of the 27 laps here at Fuji International Speedway, picking up the overall victory. More importantly, his one and only win in Pro this season. Michael Gray, second place from 15th on the grid, picks up provisionally the Pro title for Season 7 ahead of Jean McLuhan, who I think might have just wrapped up third in the championship standings behind outgoing champion for Pro last season, Harry Hartley-Price, runner-up by my provisional calculation. Craig Corish, Tim Reed, Sam Berry, and Ben Altria round out the top 8. Daniel Paul, 5 points away from the title, will take the runners-up spot despite the best efforts. He wins in AM ahead of Wayne Douglas. Joseph Lopez, Mr. Zoomies himself, rounds out the top 2 in AM in 11th ahead of Stephen Donnelly. Chris Haynes for Rexy rounds out his season with a P3 finish ahead of Sergio Cabral. Sean Clark rounding out your 15 runners and riders.
You got a few interviews in there as well, so good luck having a chat with some of them. Who do you want first?
First of all, let's bring in Mr. Andy White, our race winner.
There you go.
No,
Well, Andy, finally, Audi came good here at Fuji. Well done on the victory, mate. It's been a difficult one for you this season.
yeah, thanks, guys. It's been quite a difficult season, yeah, but that was a great race, to be fair. I really enjoyed that.
But I think were you getting a bit worried when we did notice? I think at 3 laps from the end, you had a bit of a difficult second sector. You lost 2 seconds to Michael at that point, and it came down to about a second and a half. But you knew that the Audi still had enough to get you across the line first, didn't it?
Well, when I had that wiggle, I thought, yeah, I've bottled it, I've let it go, look. But luckily, we managed to have a little word with myself, and then sorted it out, and just about trying to keep it clean.
Did you give your head a little wobble there, Andy?
Yeah, it was needed.
Yeah, but I mean, it was a great run. You know, like I said, it's been a difficult season, but of course, not too far away from season 8. I think probably in the next couple of months or so, we'll be back out on track. I'm sure that we'll see you back in championship under the Clark St James Court banner. But congratulations on the W. It's well deserved, well earned. Who would you like to thank before we let you go, buddy?
I'd like to thank Sean for organising this season. It's been a great season. Everybody who took part this season, thanks for coming, and hope to see you all again next season. Yeah.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Andy. Well done on the victory. See you next season in season 8.
Cheers, guys.
Coming up very soon. Well done tonight, buddy.
Cheers, guys.
Okay. Right. Let's bring in Daniel Paul. Let's go to Am for a moment, and let's bring in the man from Flatline Racing. Daniel, I have to say, congratulations on the victory. But I have to be the bearer of provisional bad news. It looks like you've just missed out by a handful of points, but you still gave it your all. You did a great job here at Fuji. It was a bit topsy-turvy, wasn't it, tonight? Okay. Yep. Okay. Let's bring him in. Well, John McLuhan, welcome into the booth and the post-race interview show. A great way to finish off the season for you. P3 in the end, whilst Harry, Craig, Tim, and Sam and everyone else behind you were battling away over the scraps on the dinner table. Harry, Craig, Tim, and Sam and everyone else behind you were battling away on the dinner table.
Yeah, I enjoyed my race. I got a tough start, so I lost a few places there, but I hung with it and was fortunate enough to get some spaces out of the pit. Fortunate enough to get some spaces out of the pit.
Yeah, I could hear a YouTube feed in the background. Yeah. But Jean, I think you know, a P3 to round off a very competitive season, and I think probably you might have just provisionally secured third in the championship standings in the pro class. Some very, very stern competition. Yeah. 1-6, white, 1-6, 140, 5-9. No, neither do I. Right, okay. Well, good. Yeah, Joseph, good evening, buddy. Welcome back.
Hey, how's it going?
All good, all good. Well done in that race, despite a few dramas for the Zoomies car. But you managed to bring it home P2 in the end. How are you feeling after that one? It's a bit of a difficult one because you had a couple of moments going through turn 10 at Dunlop, and then a few laps later we saw you have a bit of a pirouette at turn 11 as well. But you still gathered it up together at the end.
so disappointing though, because I was ahead and then I came out of the pits and just got all discombobulated, and when Daniel came out of the pits in front of me after that, it was all over. Yeah. 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 I don't know what to say. I started spinning out and then it was over. So started cutting the corners and you know. Yeah.
A man of few words because he's been busy behind the wheel for the last couple of days. But Joseph, just to let you know, according to the results, you have secured 6th in the championship standings. Obviously, hopefully, we'll see you back for season 8, and hopefully that Mr. Zoomies will be a little bit further up the order next time. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, I'll take 6th. I won't be able to do next season. I'm going to be on vacation, but season 9. Out.
Sounds good to me. Joseph, thank you so much for joining us once again, buddy. Anyone you'd like to give a shout out to before we let you go?
All the normal people, my wife, and everybody else.
Fantastic. Joseph, take care, buddy. Have a good vacation, and we'll see you back for season 9.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Right. Okay. So big thank you to Joseph. Let's bring in the man who likes it, Chris Haynes. He is on deafen at the moment. Let's see if he decides to unmute. Fingers crossed. There we go. Well, Chris, seems like Rexy has done you proud this season because you've managed to get yourself 5th in the championship standings after the final race here at Fuji. How are you feeling now all the dust has settled?
Yeah, great. It's absolutely loved the season. It's been really good. I had a bit of damage at the start, which slowed me down a bit, but after that, it sort of came together.
Yeah, it has been a bit topsy turvy. I mean, looking back at your results this season, I mean, obviously I think it was Nürburgring that you had your worst result, which became your drop score, but then a P2 at Spa and now a P3 to round off the season. Well, actually 2 P3s, one at Daytona, one at Fuji. That's a good little bit of consistency to start getting yourself ready for the next season. Agree?
Yeah, looking forward to it. It's tricky handling on these new tyres. Just getting used to that. So hopefully next season, just be a bit more consistent over the whole season.
Well, congratulations on once again another great solid result, P3 in AM. Anyone you'd like to give a shout out to before we let you go?
Yeah, thank you, Joe. Yeah, just to Sean for organising it. It's a cracking season, really good, well organised, and yeah, thank you very much.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Chris Haynes and good old Rexy and the number 97 Porsche. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you in season 8. Last but by certainly no means least, we have a new overall champion with a total of 245 points from Full Tilt Motorsport. Welcome to the Roll of Honour, Michael Gray. Michael, well, you got it done, buddy. Job's in the bag. You are the Pro Series champion for this season. Well done.
Yeah, thank you. No, it's been fun. I've really enjoyed it. Getting to know new people, racing against new people. That's always a good thing. So, but no, it's been really good.
Now I've got a really, really interesting question, which is for the last 2 races at Brands Hatch at Fuji, you decided to not really put a lap down in qualifying. Was it just like, well, I think I might get it in the bag, but I just want to have a little bit of fun and have a bit of a challenge. So you start from 15th and you only finished 1.5 seconds behind Andy at the end of 27 laps here at Fuji. So not a bad showing, wasn't it?
No, I don't want it to come sounding cocky, but yeah, I mean, it is a bit boring when you're just doing lap after lap after lap. But yeah, I had a decent points lead. The one at Brands Hatch was probably a daft idea. It is quite hard to get past there, but yeah, tonight, and again, there were low numbers. So, I mean, if there was 30 people there, I might not have done it, or I definitely wouldn't have got as high up. So, but yeah, I still think I should have won that tonight. Really, that mistake I made passing Jean and Harry into turn one. I'd have killed Harry if he hadn't let off the brakes.
That was the other thing I was going to ask. I was like, we both nearly needed the standby defibrillator to the right-hand side of our commentary box to be activated and go clear when you like literally at a big rate of speed. I mean, you dive to the inside, and then all of a sudden we were like thinking, how close to Harry at that point? I think you gave yourself a scare at the time. Were you adjusting anything on the steering wheel, or
no? It's just obviously I'd come to the inside. I'd started braking where I thought I should be, and then as obviously Jean just shot back, I was like, oh, I've missed this by a mile. So I tried to slow it down. So as soon as Harry would have turned in, I'd have just hit him. So I just thought, right, if I just turn it, put my foot down, and I'll just lose the time. There's no point killing someone for that. So, but yeah, that lost me about, I think, nearly 5 seconds that lap. So at the pits, I think I'd have been about a second and a half behind Andy. So it would have been a lot closer. But yeah, no, it was fun. I enjoyed that. It was a good race.
Was you messing around with something on the black box?
No, I was doing nothing.
Because I've got to be honest, but as soon as you started going towards the grass and then you corrected, I was like, he's playing with something, or he's thinking about what he's going to have for dinner, or he's doing something with shopping, or something in his head there, because that's the only time anybody does that, is they start drifting over and then they go, oh no, I've remembered. And then at that point, I thought you missed your braking point and just went zooming on.
Yeah, no, I just missed my braking point completely. I wasn't messing with anything, so that one was on me. So I'd rather lose the time than take Harry out of the race.
No, agreed.
So, yeah.
Back to you, Alex. Sorry, I'm finished.
No, that's fine. Well, Michael, congratulations on becoming our Season 7 GT3 champion. Are we going to see you back for Season 8?
Unfortunately, no. I will be in the middle of another league at the time. I am going to ask, or I'm maybe asking now, if they do 3 weeks on and 1 week off. If on the off week I can come and do a guest race, because I have enjoyed it. We'll just see what they say.
Oh, yeah, we'll just open the door up for you to come and make a guest appearance like the celebrity you are, Michael.
Yeah, indeed. Well done tonight, Michael, and congratulations on the Series 7 title.
Yep, thank you.
Take care, man.
Cheers.
Well, what can we say there, JP? That's it. Season 7 for Galebest and Clark St James Championship is in the books.
It's been good, dude. I've enjoyed myself.
I know, it's been absolutely brilliant. We've thoroughly enjoyed it. And you know what? I definitely want to come back for. You know what? I'm gonna put something out there. I'll definitely be back for Season 8 because GT3 action is absolutely brilliant, especially when we had quite big numbers at the beginning of this season. So don't forget, if you want to get involved, there are the summer races. This will be single races of formats for recruitment and a bit of fun. So we've got the 21st of July, the 4th of August, and the 18th of August ahead of GT3 Season 8. So there'll be a 20-minute practice, allows time for people to log in and register. 10 minutes closed qualifying, 90-minute race, 60% fuel limit on each cars. Open setups, 1 fast repair, penalty every 20x. And you know what? That is it from us here at the JP Broadcasting Network for live coverage of the 8th and final round of the 7th season, the Galebest and Clark St James GT3 Championship, with Fuji being a fantastic season finale. You've been in the company once again of Alex Goldschmidt, James Parfitt. This has been a JP Broadcasting production. We'll see you again, hopefully, for Season 8. And until next time, it's race hard, race fair. And if in doubt, well, like here at Fuji on the start, you've got to go flat out, haven't you? We'll see you next time. Good night.
Thank you.